I had to talk about this while it was on my mind because it seems like even citizens or people of color don't want to protect themselves. They don't want to speak out. They don't want to do anything to upset, you know, their calm little lives, not realizing that they're coming for you anyway. And unless you protect yourself, just like out there in the street, you will get run over. So I'm going to tell you today, we gather, and I gather, not to whisper, but to speak with clarity and conviction, to confront two institutions that have shaped the lives of Africans of color, ordinary citizens across the globe, the church and government, two institutions they say don't talk about. And the things that they tell you don't talk about, you're stupid for not talking about them, because they're the very thing that keeps you from eating, that touches your children, that takes your money when you're not looking. See, both of these claim noble missions, saving souls, serving the people, but both have often betrayed those missions, enriching themselves while subjugating the very people they profess to uplift. And we have fell for it so many times. Not just, yesterday, I think I got an email from, I think it says Mr. Clyburn, what is it, Jim Clyburn. If I'm not mistaken, this was one of the guys that was supporting Trump. But if I am, I haven't heard his voice in defense of anything to support the people that he represents. So therefore, he's still in that group. He's in that group that goes where the wind blows. Wherever the money goes, wherever the power goes, that's where he goes. And so I don't care about you anyway. Stop asking me for money. That go for you too, Mr. Obama. I love you because you're black. But you understand something? You were part of a lot of things that were very wrong. And you know it, and I know it. You might even be one of the reasons why we don't have Gaddafi here. I don't know. I know one thing, that once you got out of office and you look back on things, I know you wish you could do things better and different. So don't ask me for no money, okay? You have made enough money, finance your own damn campaign. The church and the religion's role in subjugation. Let me first tell you that this is the church of tomorrow morning. You only have to come here once. We're going to tell you the truth. You don't have to pay no dues. You don't have to kiss nobody's behind. And nobody's going to sit down here and hold your hand and tell you about the spirit that's within you, who talks to you, but you may have quieted it because you have the need to have to follow a master. And for all of those, you go right ahead. But for the people that know something's wrong, you may want to listen. Let us begin with the church. Religion in its pure form should be about liberation, about the salvation of souls, about love, justice, yet history tells another story. The Vatican today stands as one of the wealthiest corporations on earth, shielded from taxation while millions of believers struggle in poverty. The same institution that preaches humility and sacrifice has accumulated vast treasures, land, and influence. Worse still, the church issued edicts such as the doctrine of discovery in the 15th century that gave European powers divine permission to colonize, enslave, exploit African people and indigenous nations. These papal bulls declared that lands not inhabited by Christians could be seized and their people reduced to servitude. That was not salvation, that was subjugation. The church became a spiritual weapon in the arsenal of colonization and colonialism, baptizing conquest and sanctifying chains. Africans were told to bow before a cross while their resources were stripped, their cultures erased, and their bodies sold. If saving souls was the mission, why did the church align itself with the empire? Why? Because it is the empire. Why does it remain silent today as corporations plunder African minerals, as governments destabilize nations for profit? The hypocrisy is glaring. salvation for the few, exploitation for the many. The government betrayal of the Constitution. Now, the Constitution of the United States declares itself a covenant to serve the people. But who are the people? Not all, but citizens? Not even. Not equally. The government's agenda today is not service, but self-enrichment. Politicians enrich themselves while enforcing systems of white supremacy that exclude not only people of color, but ordinary Europeans who thought they were a part of the ruling elite. They thought they were privileged. They thought, and guess what? Now you're on your knees. The illusion of choice between Democrats and Republicans is a farce. Two sides of the same coin, both beholden to corporate interests, both complicit in maintaining structures of inequality. Firebrands like Mr. Al Davis and Mrs. Jasmine Crockett, or Cory Booker, and countless others who dare to stand firmly on the Constitution and fight for their constituents are targeted, marginalized, and silenced. Their courage is punished while their so-called colleagues bow to greed, power dynamics, and cowardice. And let us not forget the executive branch willingness to turn the military against its own citizens. Soldiers come from the very communities they are ordered to suppress. The government bullies African nations and so-called weak nations, not for democracy, but for minerals, oil, control of their government. This is not service, it is domination. Let me tell you something. We can no longer sit on the fence. Neutrality is complicity. Silence is surrender. Whether citizen or government official, whether preacher or politician, the time has come to choose justice or injustice, truth or lies, liberation or oppression. The church must be held accountable for its role in colonialization and its continued wealth amidst global poverty. The government must be confronted for betraying its constitutional duty, for weaponizing division, and for serving elites instead of citizens. Citizens must awaken to the reality that parties are distractions, that the true power lies in unity, demanding accountability, and refusing to be pawns of greed. This is where, let me tell you something, it doesn't matter about you being black or white. It's about getting this thing together, and then we're going to have to talk about that, because guess what? While we're talking about being divisive right now, they unified and trying to put you back in chains. And if you can't see that, you're in the wrong program here, buddy. And I don't need none of y'all who don't agree with me to tell me you don't agree with me. Just go start your own. My friends, history is not a distant memory. It is alive. The minerals stolen from Africa today, in the militarization of our streets and the silences of voices who's dare to speak truth. We must rise with courage. We must demand that religion return to its true mission of liberation, that government return to its constitutional promise of service. And if they refuse, then we, the people, must remind them that power does not belong to institution, but to us. No longer can we bow to crosses that sanctify conquest. No longer can we vote for parties that betray us. No longer can we allow militaries to be turned against their own families. The time has come to stand. The time has come to speak. Time has come to act, because neutrality is death. And justice, my brothers and sisters, is life. Let me tell you something. You know what you must do. But sometimes fear, it makes you feel like your feet are in concrete. But if you don't do it, think what's going to happen to you and your kids. Oh, sometimes there are things worse than death. And I shudder to think and don't want to see.